time, I'd like to call to order the December meeting of the Danville Board of Education. Welcome to all of our special guests tonight. We're glad you're here with us. First, I would like a motion. Actually, I will make the motion to approve the meeting agenda with an amendment to include an out-of-state trip for the Danville High School academic team on the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? You'll have the information in front of you. It's a routine trip they take every year. So we will add that to the consent agenda. All in favor of the motion to approve the amended agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Now we will move into board member comments. Mr. Montgomery? Ms. Hart? Okay. Mr. McCall? You're going to leave it up to me. But I just want to say just one quick thing. Tonight is the last meeting for Tim Montgomery, for Troy McCowan, and for myself. And it's been an honor and a privilege to serve on the Danville Board of Education for the past 15 years. I've had the opportunity to work with many incredible teachers. They have taught me so much about education. They've taught me about our schools, and they've taught me a lot even about our community that I didn't know. I've gotten to work with 3 great superintendents, with lots of great board members, and I'm very confident that the people that are remaining in the district at the board level, superintendent, and all of you, all the staff that we have in our district, will carry on in the tradition and in the excellence that we've come to know and expect in the Danville schools, in our academics, and in our athletics, and in our arts. Many years ago, my sister-in-law gave me a framed quote that says, "There's no higher calling in life than caring for the children entrusted to our care." I used to think that this was just about our children, my children, but over the years I've come to realize that it's about way more than just my 3. It's about all the kids in the Danville schools. It's about what we do in the Danville schools every single day. We care for kids, and you all are a big part of that. We help to give them the tools necessary for them to be successful when they move on. In the Danville schools, I've been a student, I've been a student's parent, I've been a volunteer, I've been on site-based councils, I've been on committees, and I've been a board member. I will miss being involved at this level, but I won't be far. I'm just around the corner. I will always, always support the Danville schools, and I will always be an admiral. Good luck to all of you all, and thank you for all you do for our kids. I really am excited about this and leaving this in great hands. So, okay, we will move on now to the superintendent's report.
Fair enough. There are many positive, exciting things to share, but I want to start with one probably most obvious, and that is, well, we thank all of you for not having the flu and coming this evening. Obviously, it's been an interesting twist in the stories of schooling when illness strikes in such a way that forces us to take action. So we can call a snow day when it's raining, and we can call a snow day when kids are sick. Someday we're going to call a snow day when it's snowing. That's my goal, to earn my position here at the table. So after Toliver's illness that you're at ground zero, we've had a significant return in Toliver's attendance today, which is what we're happy to see. So the weekend and Friday was able to restore both staff and student attendance to over 90%, which is exactly what we wanted to see happen. As we began preparing for last week was, okay, those students likely have friends, siblings, and other interactions with students at middle and high schools and even the other elementary schools. And we're starting to see some waivers in attendance there. It is something that we are tracking carefully to make sure that we are still able to support school and support learning. The timing is tricky, as for example at the high school there is compass tests as well as midterm exams, and I know at some of the elementary schools they're beginning with their map testing windows as well. So it's something we're paying close attention to, and we will do our best to see that through. We will take every effort to keep school open, to keep school functioning. We know that parents rely on us for many things. both for education and for the general structures and routines of a school day. And as we head in towards our last week before the winter holiday, it's even more important that we're able to give folks predictable patterns of attendance. So it will take a great deal for us to make any arrangements other than to run school this week, but it is something that we're still trying to care for. Meanwhile, our custodial staff in particular is working overtime to wipe down every possible touchable surface. There are probably things that have been dusted and cleaned that haven't been noticed in years, in order to make sure that we are limiting the spread. And that's where we, any questions about attendance or illness from any of our board members and response? Fair enough. Since our last meeting, there's been a lot going on. From the 6th grade performance-based assessments at Bay Middle School that brought in folks from all over the state to come check out our students' collaborative work in language arts and social studies. I think a number of you were able to score those experiences. All the way through, if you just take a look at the Danville calendar right now on the website, you will see a whole host of experiences, or everything from the after-school strings concert that was at the high school yesterday to performance concerts this week from both elementary, middle, and high, the Paleontology Museum that will be open at the middle school this week, as well as basketball in full season and lots of pieces in between. So it's a great time to be an Admiral, and if you're short of something to do, just check our school calendar and we will have something for you to participate in. Even tomorrow night being the football banquet, a chance to honor the fall sports that are exiting as well as coming out. So there'll be lots of middle school kids there as well, as we see the entire community represented in our sports. And then coming up this week, also of note, is that there is a strategic data project that is run by Harvard that will be in Lexington on Thursday, and we will have a contingency group going there to help analyze our data through their lenses as a way of expanding our horizons, as well as talking to a series of other groups and organizations about how else we can get involved with lots of cool things coming forward. In addition, we expect in January to be able to have some version of press release or public update of the Toliver Reformation process while we're here today, just to make sure that folks are in the loop and understand the time frame and how those work, as well as the meeting schedule, as those are in fact open meetings. And so your participation as far as part of the audience is welcome to anyone that would like to attend. Can't let the meeting pass, though, of course, without taking a moment also to talk about the board. And this is purely selfish, in that while I do not have near the years of experience of the folks around me from Board of Education members, these are the folks that hired me. So here's my chance to, in particular, to say thank you, number one, and to somehow implore Susan and Paige and Steve, as the new majority works onto the board, that really we're doing good work, and we're actually happy for you guys to continue those parts of it. We do want to acknowledge you guys from the district. And we are using a new camera tonight. We've got a few new features. So if you come forward, get your picture taken, get your party gift, that would be awesome. We have cool embroidered blankets with the Anchor and Admiral to help keep you warm as you watch these from the comfort of, watch these meetings from the comfort of your own home. So it's in like to come around. We've got our camera tonight. Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Gene, let's come around.
Just want to watch where I stand. Last time I did this, I ended up with that over there. I'm going to go there.
Now, with each of those blankets, there's also the real party gift, which you can't live without. And these are your passes to all Danville events sponsored. So this is your free entry to any athletic or entertainment event by which that is part of the Danville schools. And this is good for life.
Thank you.
Very nice, thank you.
Thanks to everyone who helped put that together. It was a special thing when we can sit around as a core team and think about what's the best way to honor folks. It's always a fun conversation, and I think that you see some of the personalization. We were happy to be able to share those things with you. So hopefully you will take advantage and enjoy. Being a member of a board is not easy, no matter what it may be. And it takes a whole lot of time and sensitivity and in particular thought often beyond what anyone's individual scope or role may be. Obviously, when you look at the history of the Danville schools and what has gone on under your all's tenure, it has put it in a significant place. For it to be something that, even for me to follow, even from a sense of history, as I was coming through my own education ranks, and always try and measure the progress of where I was versus what was going on in Danville. Obviously, you all have made significant contributions that will far outlive anyone's individual tenure, so thank you for that. And with that said, that will conclude my superintendent's report.
Thank you. Arts and Humanities, Ms. Duke.
And you all have a copy of my report there in front of you, but I think we're going to be able to bring up the PowerPoint as well. And as I was listening to that, I would be remiss if I didn't thank Troy and Jean and Tim for all the great work that you've done with us over the years. You've all been here almost as long as I have now, so. And thank you for inviting me tonight to talk about the arts in the Danville schools. It's, of course, one of my favorite topics. And it's actually the state of the arts and more in the Danville schools. As things move around and change, I'm working with a couple of different things, so I'll talk about those as well. These are some of the things that I'll be touching on tonight, everything from discipline-based arts classes, to grants, to arts integration, to program reviews in all areas, to community and statewide collaborations, the Gravely Hall Performing Arts Center, and my very favorite, which is the Bravos. So all the images you see are students making art in the Danville schools. So no clip art for us, it's all our students. A quick overview of the program reviews. You have the state cut points on the left. It is 23% of the overall accountability, so it's a significant portion of accountability at this point. Schools can be categorized needs improvement, proficient, or distinguished. However, the numerical accountability is capped at proficient. So the highest we can earn is 23 points of the overall 100 points, and you'll be happy to hear that we all scored 100. Some of us a little over, but since we're capped at that, that's where we'll sit. That gets added into the overall accountability score. State audits, which have been promised, are now beginning. They're part of consolidated monitoring, and desk audits are also occurring. We've been told from the Department of Ed that they're going to focus on schools whose accountability scores are in sharp contrast to their program review accountability. We have another one coming up, 2014-2015. World language has been added, but it will not be part of the numerical score until next year. So we've got, and that's for the high school. It's phasing in. All the schools have to do it this year, but high school will be accountable next year, and middle and elementary won't be accountable until the next year. So it's all phasing in. So we get, I skipped too quickly because I wanted to go right to the Bravos. Your next slide is just a comparison of where we were last year to where we are this year, and you'll see that the elementary schools went up that little bit of 3%. Actually, they went up a little bit more than that, but again, that's what we're capped at. The middle school also went up a little bit, but again, we're capped. And the high school actually went up quite a bit this past year, so they're paying strong attention to their program reviews. Priorities for the next year. Slide these in. We want to support the proficient ratings in all program review accountability areas. We've created a district list of must-haves for proficiency, and that's been shared with all the schools, and I'm talking with them pretty regularly about that. We're reaching towards distinguished ratings where we can. We're providing solid evidence to support the ratings. The arts faculty are meeting monthly. We worked on SMART goals over the fall. The winter spring is to create a curriculum revision and alignment plan. Practical Living and Career Studies has been helped tremendously by the PEP grant. The PEP grant has given them a lot of support. And then our focus, especially in high school and in middle school on college and career readiness, is building key evidence in those Practical Living Career Studies area. K through 3, they're focusing on continued analysis of the MAP scores to identify students in needs in reading and math. Of course, we've got the addition of the new program review, so that world language teachers have begun analyzing the program review rubrics to start seeing where each school falls with those rubrics and seeing what they will need from the overall school. As we remember, these are whole school program reviews. We're also working on understanding the role of program review data in the overall picture of accountability. I've been working with the district assessment committee, and David McAfee and I have been talking about the difference in data between what you see in program reviews and what you see from our other tested area data, and how to make that understanding a complete part of each school's movement towards proficiency and beyond. So now we get to the Bravos. We've got a lot of Danville students and staff who have earned awards, honors, have been elected to various offices, and the bad thing about this, the good thing is that we get to celebrate people. The bad thing is you always leave somebody out. So my apologies in advance if I've left anybody out. But we had a couple of big kindergarten Bravos to send. Brooklyn Null from Hogsett Elementary. Her artwork was one of 28 pieces chosen to be part of the VSA traveling exhibit, and that will hopefully be coming to Hogsett. They've applied to receive it, and I think they will. We also have Natalie Fieberg, and you've got her artwork there on the right. She garnered top honors in the 6 to 9 age category in 2014 Kentucky State Employees Student Art Contest from a pool of over 2,900 entries, so that's pretty great. Making a difference every day in every way is the prompt. Then we have some other elementary art contest finalists. The school finalists from Jenny Rogers in the Jim Claypole art contest was Emma Baum, Samantha Bottom, and Lila Ungs. And from Toliver, they were Nia Brown, Holly Calmers, and Raven Houston. And we're actually going to skip this one. We're going to take that to the end. We're going to go on to faculty achievements. It's rare that I get to brag on faculty, but I'll do it quickly. Mark Hayes and I received a Danville Schools Education Foundation grant to the soundboard for Gravely Hall. We're no longer struggling with not having channels work and things like that. We're very happy, and as are the students with that. Hillary Zimmerman also received a grant for a production of Fabio and Juliet, and she has submitted a VSA Artist in Residency proposal. John Irwin also received a Danville Schools Education Foundation grant towards a green screen for digital production projects in the STEAM lab here. Steve Meadows, who founded Speak, and Beth Marlowe and Mac Tyree participated and helped run that annual conference held in September. Shelley Stinnett has been appointed to the Boyle County 4-H Board of Directors. I've been elected facilitator of the Kentucky Coalition of Arts Educators. Brett Bowman presented on dance education at the CAPERD conference this November. Hillary Zimmerman presented at the Kentucky Art Educators Association on integrating theater arts into the visual art curriculum. Our middle and elementary school music teacher, Valerie Evans, is playing a lot professionally, principal trombonist, and with a rock band around the state. And that's hopefully our Bravos. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. Something that we work with a lot are making community collaborations happen to provide opportunities for our kids in the arts. Many thanks to the Danville Schools Education Foundation. They are continuing providing funding for our after-school strings program, which Dr. Wilk referenced. We had a partnership with Drama Center that allowed all of our K-5 students to see a bilingual English and Spanish play, Señora Tortuga, about an immigrant family from Mexico. Po 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 was a collaboration with West T Hill Theater. That was done by the advanced speech class at Big Middle School, and that was a wonderful performance if you got a chance to see that. A big collaboration for us this fall was with Citizens Concerned for Human Relations for the Frank X. Walker Literary Festival. It brought multiple authors into all 5 schools, and a special presentation by Frank for Danville High School and Bay Middle School, as well as community greetings and a performance as well. So, the Community Arts Center has been collaborating with various art and design clubs at Danville High School, and it led to high school students doing zombie makeup and face painting for the downtown trick or treat. The Danville Cultural District provided logistical assistance for performances by the UK Opera Theatre for our elementary school students. They got to see Alice in Operaland. The DHS Art Club is collaborating with 4-H and Ephraim on a series of projects. It's including multiple exhibits and creating projects. And a collaboration with the Great American Brass Band Festival has led to them receiving a grant to create 2 curriculum resource boxes on jazz, and also to provide a jazz performance for the Danville Middle and High Schools. Our ongoing collaboration with Norton Center for the Arts provides free tickets for some of our students to see school day performances at the Norton Center. So, arts news from our schools. And some of this you've already heard. I'll try to go through it quickly, but it's exciting to have arts news from all 5 of our schools. Jenny Hogsett Elementary School, they had a huge arts and cultural day featuring the arts and culture of Caribbean countries, workshops on everything from storytelling to dance and food, and that was funded through our ongoing World Language and Art Grant. They got to attend a performance, a traveling performance by the Danville Marching Admirals, and the 2nd annual Arts Night was held with the Family Book Fair, featuring exhibits of artwork from all grade levels. On to Jenny Rogers. They also attended, most of these schools had teachers who attended beginning of the year trainings in either the new National Art Standards or Arts Integration. 2nd grade students took advantage of those ACTS tickets. They got to attend Judy B. Jones, and I got to be there with some of them. 1st grade students are working on arts integration units in science, learning about habitats and social studies with Native American culture and storytelling. Visual arts students participated in several art contests. Mr. Fleming purchased drumming instruments for students to work on Latin rhythms. And all K-5 students participated in a Square Art fundraiser. And Ms. Hurd does that with the PTO to benefit the PTO. Each student designs something and it gets placed on different items that they then use for fundraising opportunities. Toliver also had students attended Judy B. Jones, and that was an exciting thing. You actually get to see a picture of the stage there. I was actually seated with the Toliver students. And that's them right there in a row getting ready to watch the performance. They all performed song and dance for Toliver's annual Winter Festival. 4th and 5th grade students participated in the Save the Frogs art contest, and all students participated in the other art contest. They got to see Senora Tortuga at Center College, and 1st grade students took a cultural and arts field trip to the Great American Dollhouse Museum. Moving on to Bait. Mrs. Green's visual arts classes held an art auction that they've been working on, and they raised some money towards purchasing play. The play production class performed Ho 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 on the Gravely Hall stage for the entire school and for an evening performance for family and friends. As I mentioned, the advanced speech class also performed Poe. The digital media class is working on a video about New Year's resolutions. We've already mentioned Mrs. Henderson's class, and that's using arts integration strategies on the Bate Museum of Natural History. And then 6th grade students attended a field trip to the Living Arts and Sciences Center on a cultural field trip about Day of the Dead. Danville High School. Lots of things going on there. 2 fall productions, one from the production class and one is an extracurricular production. The Danville Marching Admirals toured Bate, Hogsett, Jenny Rogers, and Toliver with their program. The visual arts students exhibited as part of the Arts Commission of Danville-Boyle County Gallery Hop. Several classes have had guest speakers, presentations from ceramics, photography, acting, Shakespeare. Our student teacher, we had a really wonderful student teacher in the art classes, and she did lessons that connected visual art with scenic and costume design. There was a poetry slam. Several of our students are preparing for portfolio reviews and scholarship auditions in their disciplines. And those of us who are in the arts there are working with them on that. There also was a student-run edge on preparing for GSA, and there are several who are preparing for those auditions and portfolio reviews. And Mr. Stafford's marketing class created the publicity for the fall play. There's a lot of integration going on there. I don't know, I was trying to think of this when I came over, if any of you were here when I was initially hired. because I thought about this when I was putting together this page. My initial charge from both Mr. Rowland and the board was to make Gravely Hall accessible for performances. They have done this tremendous renovation on the space, and they weren't using it very much because everyone was a little bit afraid to let students come in, run things, maybe break the nice things that we've gotten. And so my charge at that point was to make it accessible, and I think we've done that when I counted up hours. And you've got a sheet on the back that, again, it's actually not comprehensive because things that were ongoing are only listed once. But the Performing Arts Center has hosted over 57 performances, rehearsals, presentations, and classes just this semester. We got a couple more left to go, but I included those. Audience totals are over 8,500, including students, community members, and students from surrounding school districts. Over 850 students have been involved in running things and performing on the Gravely Hall stage. We've got a number of firsts. 2 ensembles from the President's own U.S. Marine Band. That was a first for us. Frank X. Walker Literary Festival, Hogsett Elementary School, and this is something we've been working on for years, and they have performed twice now on the Gravely Hall stage. And a live chat with a quarantine doctor who had just returned from treating patients in Africa, Dr. Colin Bucks, who Dr. Look arranged for us. And that was for the whole school. Many other highlights, the alumni reunion, Dancing with the Damnable Stars, many, many, many things going on this semester. If you could go back to the one we missed, which is slide 8. I skipped this one because we've got a plan to segue seamlessly from one report into another. It's the Danville High School Chorus Forensics and Band. This is back in our Bravos. We've got a lot of Bravos from Danville High School this year. The chorus sent 5 students from the class auditions to state auditions for All-State, and Cameron Ty Clark, Lydia Graham, and Grace Sheen all earned spots in the KMEA All-State Chorus. They will perform in February in Louisville. I'll skip that one and go down. The award-winning DHS Forensics team placed first at Dunbar High School and has earned second place honors at their other tournaments. Lydia Graham, who you're going to see tonight, has earned several honors, and we are just so tremendously proud of her musical ability. She was one of 170 winners out of 11,000 applicants to attend the National Young Arts Week in Florida at no cost. She's placed 3rd at the University of Kentucky vocal competition and done some other great things. This is our good segue. The Danville Marching Admirals competed in 4 contests this fall. They earned first place in 1 contest, runner-up in 2 contests, and 3rd in another. And 3 of our DHS band students have earned spots in the Kentucky Honors Band. It's districts 10 and 11. It's Matt Calvert on saxophone, Jacob Towns on trumpet, and Embry Oaks on flute. We also had a couple of alternates. So we've done real well with high school students earning honors in their various disciplines. Now, are there any questions?
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you very much for your work. Okay, now we're moving on to celebrations of excellence. I think that might be the high school.
I was asked to recognize, or given the opportunity to recognize Danville High School students. I wanted to take this opportunity to recognize our band, the work that Mr. Towns puts into our band each year, whether it be marching band, concert band. And so I invited Mr. Towns to come tonight to recognize 3 individuals that Ms. Bowie recently mentioned that were earned honors, individual honors. So Mr. Towns, if you could come up and talk about these 3 excellent band members and some of the accomplishments of the band.
The district, all district honor band, regional honor band, sorry, is made up of 27 high schools in our area, and there's over 350 kids that audition and 150 students make it in there. And this year we had 3. Albert is swimming tonight, so he could not be here, but I'd like to recognize Embry Oaks. If she could come on down, we'll recognize her. She made it into the concert band. There's 2 bands the kids audition for. One is a symphonic band and one is a concert band. And Emery made it into the concert band. Come on down here.
It's good that you push your hand. You got to face that way. This is your practice for graduation. But you got to do the over under.
These students have to prepare an audition, which is live in front of judges. And the second student that is here is Jacob Towns. He made it into the symphonic band. He is the youngest freshman as a brass player to ever make it in any of these groups. And not only is the band director proud, but his parents are both proud of him as well. So, and then we have 2 alternates, and if someone gets sick, these students would slide into a spot. One is Laura Cousins, and then the other one is Megan Whittington. So, a round of applause for these kids.
Also, I have another recognition tonight, and I'll ask Lydia Graham to come forward. Many of you have heard Lydia's magnificent voice at several Danville High School performances, and even singing the national anthem for sporting events. And so I'm always at a loss of words each time I hear Lydia sing. And
Well, good thing. I'm at a loss of a certificate.
As I'm looking for the certificate, I have a little blurb to read about Lydia. Lydia recently applied for the expense-free National Young Arts Week in Miami, Florida. This program is put on by the National Young Arts Association. It provides emerging artists with life-changing experiences with renowned mentors, access to significant scholarships, national recognition, and other opportunities throughout their careers. Out of 11,000 applicants across the country, 786 young arts winners were chosen in the visual, literary, design, and performing arts. From those winners, only 170 were chosen to attend the National Young Arts Week in Miami, Florida, taking place during the first week of January. Lydia was one of 8 classical vocalists selected. Some of the notable alumni of the program include singer-songwriter Josh Groban, actresses Kerry Washington, Viola Davis, Vanessa Williams, violinist Jennifer Coe, rapper, singer, songwriter Nicki Minaj. Leading up to this opportunity, Lydia recently received 3rd place at the University of Kentucky vocal competition for young singers, attended the Governor's School for the Arts and Vocal Music Discipline, and won the William E. Schmidt Youth Vocal Competition at the University of Indianapolis, which is a national vocal competition open to vocalists in grades 10 through 12. We are very proud of Lydia, and I just want to take this opportunity to recognize her for all of her many accomplishments.
For those receiving certificates, they are a new format for this meeting, so should there be any misspellings or corrections, please let me know. I want to make sure that we have accurate ones for you to have when you take them. So should there be any problem, please say so when you fix them.
Well, I'm honored to get to present some recognitions tonight to our POE project students. They did a fabulous job and a great collaboration with West E Hill Community Theater here in Danville. Those kinds of collaborations are rare and really exciting. I've been very proud of all our students. I honestly don't know which ones are here. I see we have a lot of you here. So I'm going to call them in alphabetical order, one at a time. And I'll ask Dr. Luke to present the certificates to you. If you're right here, please come forward. And we do want to honor Zane Arnold as a high schooler that really helped us out with that program. So Zane, would you step forward and shake Dr. Luke's hand? We'll give you a hand as well. Zane did a great monologue at the end of the program. It was very good and just excellent in every way. Carly Boswell, if you're here. Are you here, Carly? Yes, thank you. Carly's here too. Caleb Campbell, are you here? He wasn't able to come tonight? All right. Lily Dalton, are you here? All right. Jackson, you just tell me who's here and who's not. I see you shaking your head at me. Thank you very much. Lily Detillion, not here? All right. Charlie Hall is here. I see you, Charlie. Charlie's done a lot of great things for Bay Middle, as you may know, and part of that was the POE project as well. Thank you, Charlie. about Charlie is he also presented at a conference led by UK with hundreds of people in attendance as one of the presenters a couple weeks ago, and it was just really an awesome experience. Thank you, Charlie. Haley Hopkins, are you here? Haley's here too. Natalie Grubbs. Come forward, and we have some a few minutes too. Thank you for the photo. Emma Merriman. Emma Merriman's not present tonight. Jackson Montgomery, I know you're here. Thank you, Jackson. Jackson helps me out every day. Sadie Price. Sadie worked behind the scenes very hard with the rest of the cast and did an excellent job supporting our production. Thank you, Sadie. Joseph Warner. Thank you, Joseph. Kayla Welch, are you here tonight? Peyton Young? Okay, so that's our Pope Project honorees. I hope that you all got a chance to see it. Did you raise your hand if you got to go to the production? The Pope Project, it was just really fabulous. I hope we get to have a redo of that soon for everybody to get to see. It was wonderful. I do have one more presentation, recognition of excellence tonight to one of our students who's already here for another purpose. I'm not sure if she even realized we were going to do this, but one of the first things that happened to me when I began working at Bake Middle was I got something in my mailbox, which never got anything in my mailbox. I didn't even know I had a mailbox for about a month. I just came upon it by accident one day, and there was a lot of things in there, and one of them was a letter from Camp Ertz YMCA camp director. And it said this: out of nearly 3,000 campers who attended YMCA Camp Ertz this year, Natalie Grubbs was among the 2% who won the prestigious Honor Camper Award. A tradition since 1928, Honor Camper was created by Willard L. Wade to recognize campers with outstanding character and leadership. Camp Ertz staff of more than 100 nominate and vote on campers who they believe display the YMCA core character values of honesty, caring, respect, and responsibility at the end of each week-long session. After the counselors' votes are tallied, the honor campers are publicly recognized during the week's closing campfire. The counselors that nominated them read speeches about them and present them with 10 cups with their individual names engraved on them. Campers like Natalie remind us why we love our job. Counselor M.K. Kitzmiller said, "We do not want to just recognize the fastest runner or the best singer, but also those who helped others and were true leaders all week." Natalie is a very influential camper who has impacted her peers through sincerity and kindness in real, everyday terms. Camp Director Elizabeth Cochran said, "We are very proud of her." So I'd like to recognize Natalie Grubbs at this time. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to all of our students. Thank you all so much for your great work. And at this time, you are welcome to leave if you would like to get home to your studies.
Here, you drop.
Next on the agenda is the school spotlight, which is Toliver, but that will not be held tonight because the principal is on sick. So we will recognize Toliver at that very least. Next, we have the personnel report. Are there any questions for Dr. Look? Being none, we will move on to reserve for the public. Is there anyone here who would like to address the board? We will move on to the minutes of the previous meeting. Is there a motion?
I'll offer a motion for the approval of the November November 17th, of 2014 meeting minutes.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 6 is the finance report. Is there a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the financial report as submitted.
Any questions for Ms. Campbell? Any comments?
I did have comments. I did have several comments, I can get to say it here. I want to just call your attention to a couple of items on financial reports, in particular on the front page with the cash bank reconciliation and looking at the food service fund balance. If you will notice that last year we have a fund balance of $14,000 at this time, and currently we have a fund balance of $67,000. So we've talked about this a few times when we've had working budget sessions, that food service should have 3 months' worth of operating capital as a fund balance. So we're making strides to get there. What they really need to have is about about $300,000. They have a operating budget of about $1.2 million each year. So we're making headway, making gains. On the bottom of that report, if you will see where we have the $109,000 reserved for last year's bus, that bus has finally arrived a bit ago, and we paid for it last week, so in December, it's actually on this month's invoices, but you'll see that amount go to zero, because we'll move it up to where we paid for the bus. I just want to talk about property taxes for just a few minutes and where we stand on that. So if you'll look at receipts, and year-to-date on property taxes, we're at 3.7 million. And if you look at this time last year, we were 4.6. The difference in that is a lot of our $1,080,000 worth of our property taxes didn't post until December 1st. So it did make a variance in this report. So they will post, or you'll see them on December's report, but that's why we have a November variance of $900,000. Also, just a bit of information, we have collected about 87% of our property taxes, and we have a total of 5,900 parcels, and we've got 1,200 parcels remaining that folks still need to come in and pay the taxes on those. So it's a balance of about $935,000. Any questions on any portions of those reports? If not, I do have 2 other items that I want to talk about. One has been in the news this week with the potential cuts to our SEEP dollars for 14-15. The newest report that came out says KDE has revised the 14-15 SEEP shortfall to less than $10 million. And so for districts, that's to expect about a 1% cut. To us, that translates to about $62,000. So just a couple of facts about, let's see if I brought that paper. You know, we received an increase this year on our SEEP base. It went up actually $84 per ADA. So to us, that was a net increase of $134,000. We had a 1% salary mandate, which consumed about $90,000 of that value. So now we're looking at approximately $62,000 cut from our 134. So we'll just let that information stand where it is. I will say that also, Council for Better Education, we have talked about that organization for the past couple of years. They did have, I guess, complete a study on SEEP. We thought it was going to be actually an analyzation of the SEEP formula. There is an article that was on the KSBA website, and I'll just give you a few highlights of it. It says the study was not to actually prove or provide any more evidence that we are underfunded. We all know that we are underfunded in education. But it was to provide a typical model of what it would take for school districts to be successful and to be college and career ready. So if General Assembly, according to this article, took a look at those models that said our schools needed to be successful across the state, it would cost an additional $2.4 billion to Kentucky. But also in the study, there are some things that are research-based that we can take a look at on how we deliver education that might provide more success without costing any additional dollars. So in the coming weeks, I'll take a look at that data and the models that they have provided and see what it will look like for us as we begin to look at staffing allocations. We won't be able to move to that model because obviously the cost is going to be there. But we can at least look and see what the study says would be required for them to be successful in the way that they say we should be successful. So it's an interesting article. If you have a chance to go back and look at it, or if you want to email me and I'll send you a copy of it, I'll be glad to. Any comments? Any questions? What was it in the article? Change would need new funds, gives the school roadmap to effectiveness. It's, let me see if I can figure out which paper. If you go to the KSBA news article service, it was in December 9th listing. You all get that article service. I think it's the top line of the page. Okay. So go to December 9th distribution. And let me know if you can't find it. I'll send it to you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the finance report as submitted. Any other questions or comments? All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 7 is the payment of invoices. Is there a motion?
I move for the approval of payment of invoices totaling $408,039.30 as presented.
Second. Questions, Ms. Campbell, or comments?
Just a few comments.
Thanks, Greg.
You will see in the bill listing this time some refund on taxes. So the explanation behind that is occasionally there's an overpayment that comes in the mail, we refund the difference. And or the mortgage company makes the payment through escrow funds and the homeowner also submits the payment. So then we refund the additional. We did spend $60,000 this month on the PEP grant on the fitness centers. So that was a pretty significant expenditure, but it's all grant funded from PEP grant. We made our final payment on 2 Trace Creek construction for our Toliver window project. And then just a bit of information, you will notice that there are more invoices now to Walmart than there have been in the past. Walmart is now on bid. So we no longer have to go through the significant savings process to use them, but locally they are on bid, which is a help to our teachers.
Any questions? All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next agenda item is the CAT's offer of assistance. Is there a motion?
I'll move for the approval of the CAT's offer of assistance as submitted.
Second. Any questions or comments?
And just make a comment in case folks don't know what all this is. The case offer of assistance is a dollar-for-dollar match from School Facilities Construction Commission, and they make typically 2 offers per year. So this is the first offer for 14-15, and it's $9 per ADA, which is a $14,000 contribution by the board. We'll receive that much from the state. Last year, our total contribution was $26,000 and matched by the state. So it helps keep our infrastructure, computer infrastructure, up to date inside the district. So it's not typically used for classroom computers, but pieces that hold it all together.
Questions or comments? Thank you, Ms. Campbell. All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next agenda item, SEC procedures. there a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the resolution of the Board of Education of the Danville Independent School District authorizing and approving the execution of continuing disclosure procedures.
Second.
I think you have some more comments to make there.
I'll read the resolution. It says, whereas the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has previously promulgated rules requiring issuers of municipal bonds to annually disclose certain financial information, operating data, and notice of material events, and whereas the SEC now requires issues of municipal bonds to adopt procedures meant to ensure that the annual disclosure obligations will be met, now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Danville Independent School District as follows. Resolved, that the board hereby adopts the continuing disclosure procedures presented to the board and agrees to follow or cause the financial advisor to the board and corporation or another third party acting as disclosure agent to follow said procedures to ensure the timely and complete filing of all financial information, operating data, and notices of material events as required by SEC Rule 15C2-12 and the corporation's continuing disclosure undertakings entered into prior to or after the date of this resolution.
Any questions or additional comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next agenda item is the SEC document filing. Is there a motion?
I will make a motion that the board approve a resolution of the Board of Education of the Danville Independent School District, the board authorizing and directing the Danville Independent School District Finance Corporation to execute and file any and all documents with the appropriate federal agencies regarding outstanding bonds of the corporation.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, I'll read this resolution now.
Okay.
Whereas, in accordance with the provisions of KRS 162.385, the board has established the corporation to act as its agency and instrumentality in financing educational facilities on behalf of the board, and whereas the provisions of KRS Chapter 160 require the debt obligations of Kentucky school districts issued by school district finance corporations be publicly advertised and competitively bid, and whereas the municipal bond market is supervised by the various federal agencies which impose terms and conditions relating to the sale of municipal securities, and whereas the corporation has issued bonds on behalf of the board and the board deems it necessary and appropriate that the corporation execute and file on behalf of the board and any and all documents with the appropriate federal agencies regarding outstanding bonds of the corporation, now therefore be it and it is hereby resolved by the Board of Education as follows. Resolved, that the officers of the corporation are authorized and directed to execute and file on behalf of the board any and all documents with the appropriate federal agencies regarding outstanding bonds of the corporation.
Any questions? Additional comments? Okay. All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Next, we have staffing. Is there a motion?
I'll move for the approval of the new positions as submitted.
Second. Any questions or comments? These are positions we talked about in our work session last Monday. All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 12 is the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I'll move for the approval of the consent agenda as presented without discussion.
All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. There is a need for an executive session tonight. Is there a motion?
Make a motion we approve to enter into executive session per KRS 61.810 Section 1F for purposes of discussion of personnel.
Second.
All in favor of the motion stated, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We'll take a 5-minute recess so we can relocate to a room.